It Happened One Night came out in 1934 and spawned one of the greatest genres in classic Hollywood, the screwball comedy. It also won all 5 of the big 5 awards at that year's Oscars, and we're covering it today on the Golden Hour Film Podcast. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Hour Film Podcast. I'm Harry Bailey, joined by my co-host, not guest host, Shane Mulvaney. Shane, happy February. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Happy February to everyone as well. Hopefully the weather starts to pick up and the sun starts to last a little bit longer. Yeah, it's so bad right now in Ireland. Here's hoping.
Yeah, it's returned for none other than Frank Capra to the podcast, a director who I very, very, very much like. We have obviously covered It's a Wonderful Life, but he has got so many classics under his belt that we will be covering at some stage on the podcast. This is a fantastic film starring Clarke Gable, who we haven't covered in what feels like forever. And I think the podcast debut of one Claudette Colbert. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's their first time on the podcast. As a matter of fact, I think it's the only Claudette Colbert film I've ever seen, so that would make it the first one that we've done on the podcast. But yeah, this was a bit of a Marty, so to speak. It was a bit of an underdog story, this film. Low budget, cheap to make, cheap advertising. Columbia really didn't put much money into the advertising for this, so its first run in the cinemas wasn't great. It was fine. But then it had a second run in the cinemas, and then word of mouth spread, and it became an absolute box office success. It's pretty funny, these sorts of films that kind of spawn genres. I don't know, maybe I'm looking into it too much, but I just find it very funny. Everyone had written this film off, and then in its second run in the cinema, box office success, nominated for all of the big 5 Oscars and won all 5, that being Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Won all 5 of them. One of 3 films to win all 5 of the big 5. Can you name the other 2?
All 5 is interesting. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was one very recently. What was it again? Give me the directors.
Well, I'll interrupt you there, Shane. The decades were the 70s and the 90s.
Okay, so Network was one, I believe. Was it?
Nope.
No, Network had the 5. Oh, 90s was Silence of the Lambs.
Correct.
Yeah, and then the 70s was... Oh God, what was the 70s?
I want to say 1975.
It's not...
Maybe 76.
It's not The Godfather. No, it's not The Godfather, is it?
No. Yeah, 1975.
75. That was the year one hour came out in, 75.
It came out in 1975.
Came out in 75. It's not Network. Oh, it's... is it One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
'Tis.
Yeah.
It most certainly is. Also, Claudette Colbert, star of this film, was famously quoted on the day of wrapping this, saying, "I have just finished shooting the worst movie ever made." Supposedly, she hated making this and thought it was going to be an absolute failure of a movie. Boy, was she wrong, because it's probably the film she's most known for.
Definitely.
Her and Clarke Gable's chemistry is unmatched. It's fantastic. Clarke Gable was in this film as a punishment. This is how low everyone thought of this film before it became as impactful as it was. Clarke Gable was loaned by MGM to make this film for Columbia as punishment because of his affair with Joan Crawford, allegedly. They banished him to make this piece of shit, which would go on to be, again, maybe not his most famous movie of all time. As a matter of fact, Gone with the Wind is definitely his most famous movie. But still got him his Best Actor win. and was his first of back-to-back Best Picture wins that he starred in as well, because obviously Mutiny on the Bounty was the year after this, wasn't it? That won Best Picture as well.
I believe so, yeah.
So yeah, he was the king of Hollywood around this time, and he was loaned for this tiny little insignificant film that would, unbelievable. Probably the first absolute all-timer from Frank Capra. He's got great films before this, don't get me wrong. His whole stint at Columbia is, like, I have the box set. It's an insane run he went on at Columbia. He dominated the 30s, and yeah, this is probably the first of the absolute all timers. I would say, I would put this up there with Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, and some of his other absolute classics as you just peak Capra. Fantastic at it's no surprise to me that Frank Capra was the director of the film that many consider to be the first screwball comedy, because he is very much like pro working class, punching up humor, very good at integrating sort of like gender stereotypes and gender norms, and then obviously in the case of a screwball comedy, getting the comedy out of your stereotypical man, your stereotypical woman, and then going on a not so stereotypical journey together. The screwball comedy genre itself was huge, particularly because of the Hays Code. It's kind of considered pre-code, because it was 1934 that the Hays Code really started getting clamped down on, but this came out like early 1934, and the Hays Code basically enabled really witty, clever writers to come up with these comedies. They're basically sex comedies without the sex. Everything's innuendo, everything's a pun, everything's a joke, but it has to be like woven within the script so that they can get past censorship, which made for these genius comedies. As well, women in the workplace was a massive part of these screwball comedies being born as well, because there was that sort of battle of the sexes going on in various jobs or whatever. So most of these screwball comedies do feature like a battle of the sexes of some degree on screen, until they eventually realize that actually we maybe do get on a little bit better than we thought we did. But screwball comedies, fantastic genre, and I know it's a genre that my co-host and I guess Shane Mulvaney absolutely loves. Shane, what did you make of this one? With all the non-spoilers first, please.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. I knew about its reputation, but for some reason I just hadn't ever gotten around to watching it. Even though, like you said, I love the genre. And yeah, the jokes are very up my alley. Like, they're very there's lots of wordplay, like you said, like innuendo and wordplay. And again, I'm going to name check Billy Wilder again. It did feel like quite a Billy Wilder-esque movie in that sense, or even an Ernst Lubitsch. It's got a great gag rate. It's got a great like joke rate. Like, the jokes are consistently coming. I think Clarke Gable and Claudette Colbert are both really, really good. And again, it's a it's a screwball comedy. It's also a rom-com, so you obviously know how it's going to end. but like, we've all seen many rom-coms, I'm sure, where you just don't really care. You know how it's going to end, but you have no investment whatsoever in the central romance. It was not the case here at all. I was definitely fully rooting for the two obviously star-crossed lovers, or not exactly star-crossed, but crossed with each other maybe. Ellie and Peter. Yeah.
Peter Warren.
Very much so. And like you said, it's, again, the socioeconomic kind of differences as well help bring out the comedy as well. In certain cases, she's obviously from an affluent background. Him less so. He's obviously a bit of a drunkard. Probably has a little bit too much of an alcohol issue maybe. And certainly has an issue at his work, because he's not really taking that seriously. Whereas obviously she doesn't necessarily have to ever work. Like, she has everything more or less provided for. And so that obviously again is also the the crux of a lot of the kind of humor and also the tension between the two of them. So I think the film has a lot going for it, and kind of knocks pretty much everything it's going for out of the park. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for a bit of context as well, it's worth noting that like mid 30s is really sort of just after the kind of boom of cities in America, of them sort of becoming these like metropolises with millions of people in them, like millions and millions of people in them. So there's a real sort of people who live in the big city versus people who are kind of removed from that vibe from this as well. Like there's scenes where you can tell that Ellie, who has kind of grown up with the big city lifestyle, has no idea how to conduct herself, or like how society works out in the sticks, like where you have to queue for the shower outdoors, or you have to obey by the bus timetable rather than the bus waiting on you. um Whereas the more sort of working class streetwise character Peter Warren is far more capable of those things, but he's also maybe a little bit spiteful and a little bit he makes some preconceptions of her character. Some of them are true, some of them are false. But overall, yeah, I love this film. Big Frank Capra guy, so I am. So yeah, safe to say I love it. One of my favorite rom coms ever, to be honest. Would absolutely recommend it. And I reckon we get into some more spoilery thoughts, opinions, a review, if you will, of It Happened One Night. Shane, It Happened One Night, 1934. Frank Capra, Clarke Gable, Claudette Colbert. What's it all about?
Yeah, so it obviously follows Ellie, who is, as I said, from an affluent background. Her father is quite wealthy, and she is going to get married to a guy called King. Her dad, Alexander, isn't very happy about this. He doesn't think Alexander is the right fit for his daughter. And they have an argument. He slaps her, and obviously she is upset about this. And they're actually on a boat, and she dives into the sea, and she manages to swim ashore and essentially get away from the people pursuing her. So our father kind of sends obviously people after her so that she it's less sinister than you think. Maybe he just doesn't want her obviously to get away, but again, I'll probably making it sound more sinister than it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he obviously wants her to kind of come back and make up and figure the situation out, but she's pretty adamant that she wants to get away. So she hops on a bus. In the meantime, Peter is obviously a journalist, a newspaper reporter, and probably down on his luck. He's trying to get some work, but he seems to be in a bit of a bad spot with his editor, and
Yeah, we watch him get sacked over the phone, but he plays it off in front of everyone as if he's the one in charge of the conversation.
Yeah.
Which is such a great character introduction, I think. Like you really you figure a lot about Peter Warren out in the introduction to his character.
Yeah, and he is also a few beers in it, we should say, at this stage, so he obviously does have perhaps a bit of a problem with daytime drinking. Anyway, they both board the same bus, and pretty much instantly they start to bicker, and sometime later that night she actually loses her bag, which contained all of her money. So yeah, she's not able to obviously make her own way. So they continue the journey anyway, and he kind of comes to her aid on a couple of occasions where he eventually figures out who she is and where she may be going, and he uses this to kind of finagle his way back into the good graces of his newspaper editor. In the meantime, obviously, they don't know it, but they're falling for each other. Classic rom-com 101 there. And then I think we have probably the best scene in the movie, in my opinion, which is the scene in the motel where they put on this whole charade for her father's kind of minions as they come looking for her. And yeah, they put on this whole charade pretending they're this married couple, and that they've essentially got the wrong people. So that's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie, I would say.
Yeah, it's so good. What does he keep saying? Quit balling,
Yeah.
and then they freak out and they have to walk out. Yeah, Clark Gable is so good in this film. He's just got so much charisma.
Yeah.
You can absolutely tell why he was considered the king of Hollywood at the time. Like, if this is the lead man, who's like the guy, you would absolutely be going to see more of his movies.
Yeah.
He's fantastic in this. They, on this bus route to New York, basically convince everyone that they're husband and wife, because there's a guy called Oscar Shapley who's a fun little side character in this, who we first meet by him basically trying to hit on Ellie, and Peter steps in and stops it. And then the next time we deal with the last time we deal with Shapley is when Shapley also figures out who she is, and this is like this 10 grand reward or whatever for whoever returns her to her father. So we get this hilarious scene where Peter takes Shapley out to the woods and pretends that he's actually a gangster who's kidnapping her, and he's got machine guns in the trunk, and basically makes it out that Shapley is now stuck in like a real shady, dirty organization that are kidnapping this woman, and Shapley, absolutely terrified, just like goes yellow if we're going off the 30s, and yeah, Peter tells him that he can't rat or whatever, so he makes him run off into the night, and we just don't see him again. Then it's a fun little side character, Oscar Shapley. It's great. There's so many great lines in this. I'll not go through all of them. There's a great one where when they first are going through the whole, like, pretending to be a married couple, and she asks him for the first time what his name is, and he says Peter Warren. She goes, Peter Warren, I don't like it. And his response is, well, if you don't like the name, you can give it back to me in the morning, which is just so good. But yeah, they put up this whole facade for the majority of the film until eventually they end up stranded, and we get the incredible hitchhiking scene. I love the hitchhiking scene so much in this film. You see it on like most of the posters. It's so good. It's so iconic, and like rightfully so. Even just little bits of context as well. Up until this scene, the scene before this, I should say, is where we absolutely 100% find out that Ellie is like now head over heels in love with him, because he leaves to get food, and she doesn't know that that's where he's gone, and she starts crying out for him, and he comes back with like a big thing of carrots, and she just like falls into his arms, and he has no idea what's happening. But yeah, just the visual gag of him chewing on a raw carrot, and her sat on a fence whilst they're trying to hitchhike, and he goes on about how he's going to write a book about being a hitchhiker, and he's got 3 different thumbs that he uses depending on the situation. One of them's like this, which is just hilarious, which for our audio listeners, I just waved my hand. But yeah, the whole scene is so good. And then of course, proper pre-code humor, well, 30s humor. She manages to pull a car over by lifting up her tire on the side of the road, and it just slams on the brake after he fails to hail like 30 cars in a row. She gets one straight away by lifting her tire. And again, another amazing side character, that guy who picks them up, who's just singing to himself. Such a hilarious side character.
Early contender for a side character, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he is so good. There's so much. I just love this film. As well, there's we'll talk about the singing guy first. So basically, yeah, they get in his car, and then at one point he stops off at a gas station, and he's literally just singing to himself, and you can tell Peter, first of all, Peter feels quite demasculated because he totally embarrassed himself by failing to hail a single car. Then she hailed one straight away, and now this guy is like, not rubbing it in, but Peter feels like he's rubbing it in because he's literally singing and like being all jolly, and he's basically saved the day, whereas Peter couldn't have. Turns out this guy's an absolute con artist because he tries to steal their belongings. Peter runs after the car, and then hilariously comes back having stolen the car with a bloodied face. It's so good. But yeah, as well, there's like a whole scene where they get into a massive dispute over what a piggyback ride is, because he throws her over his shoulder to like cross a river, and he says he like asks her the first time she's gone piggyback or something, and she's like, this isn't piggyback, My father is a great piggybacker, and he would tell you that this is not piggybacking. And he's like, this is absolutely piggybacking. And they basically just get into this stupid argument about what a piggyback ride is whilst they're crossing this river, whilst she's slung over his shoulder. He's probably got a load of carrots in his hand or something stupid. It's absolutely fantastic. I just love this film. It puts a smile on my face every time.
It felt like a proper Curb Your Enthusiasm scene in that moment where Larry David is just having this stupid argument with someone equally as stupid as him. Yeah, proper slapstick stuff. It's brilliant. And then obviously you got the rom-com 101 scene where she confesses her dying love for him, and I think he's
shot so well.
Yeah, shot so well. And also, like, I think it's obviously a failure of communication, maybe, because I think he's just taken aback by the kind of suddenness of it. That he kind of just...
It's like, built up to very well because he said they pull into a motel and he says, I just don't understand it. Like, we're 3 hours away from New York. Like, I can get you to your destination. And she's like, no, I just want to spend the night here. Kind of being like, I just want one more night with you.
Yeah.
And then his whole thing is that, like, he doesn't normally go around sleeping. Now, they have a curtain between them at all times called the Walls of Jericho, which is, again, just like Screwball comedy 101, like just some fantastic innuendo there. Because at one point, he tells her father over the phone that the walls of the walls of Jericho are tumbling, and the father says, "Let them tumble," which is just so good because of the innuendo there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, am I never going to see you again? And he's like, well, I don't necessarily go around meeting up with married women, actually.
Yeah.
So he probably, there's a lot of scenes in this film where Peter Warren probably feels demasculated, which I'd say would be a very interesting context. Seeing this in the cinema in the 30s, like, because obviously gender norms and gender stereotypes were far more rigid back then. But I would say him kind of being second fiddle to her husband whilst he's clearly in love with her is also like eating away inside of him.
That's true.
So then when she comes around this curtain and she is like sobbing, it's shot so well.
Yeah, so he turns her down, but I think having slept on it that night, he very early the next morning goes straight to his newspaper editor and says, I'm going to have to scoop for you. I know who's going to marry Ellie Andrews. I am. And then they kind of work out the whole deal. And he's on the way back, obviously expecting to say to her, yeah, listen, I agree, we should get married. And little does know that at that point she's already got in touch with her father because she thinks that essentially he's gone. He's just
he disappears in the middle of the night, and then she gets kicked out of the motel because she has no money on her.
Yeah, so great scene then as he sees in traffic, just without a care in the world.
So good.
She just drives past, and the look on Clarke Gable's face is priceless. It's brilliant.
Even the setup to it as well. He's like, ooh, a police escort. And then he's like honking his horn like real dramatically as well. It's so funny.
But yeah, he eventually figures out that in the papers that they're going to get married, and she's planning on marrying Wesley. And he goes to the newspaper editor and he's like, yeah, listen, I was pulling your leg. It was a whole joke. And yeah, he's trying to save face, obviously. So on the wedding day, her father, fair play to her father, he's like, listen, I don't want you to go through with this. You don't have to go through with this.
Yeah.
Because he's after meeting with Peter at that point, and to his shock, Peter hasn't asked for the $10,000 reward. All he's asked for is $39.60 that he spent, obviously, getting her from.
He had to sell his belongings for gas money.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So he writes him a check for $39.60, and like that's when I think the father knows, all right, this guy is like, he's not in it for the money. He literally.
Yeah.
And then he asks him, like, do you love her? It doesn't matter about that. Do you love her? It's not about that. He's like, do you love her? Yeah, obviously. So he manages to scene. Yeah, brilliant scene. And then the father is obviously trying to convince Ellie then to reject Wesley and go with Peter.
Yeah, in the most like baller father who doesn't want his daughter to marry someone. Walking down the aisle, he just tells her that there's a car out back if she wants to hop in it. Like, he's like planned an entire escape method for her. Meanwhile, King Wesley has like come in a helicopter, which is like so cool to see, like a 1930s helicopter. in a film. But yeah, he arrives via helicopter, and she stands him up at the altar. She runs to the getaway car. They drive off. She drives off with Peter Warren, and then just a fantastic ending, which is so Hays Code coded, but also so Screwball comedy coded. Which is like the whole time, obviously, the people pretending to be married. They find a motel, and the couple who run the motel are like, "Oh, what a nice young married couple." "Oh, I don't think they're married." "Oh no, they are. They showed me the married license. But they did ask for a curtain and a string." And then we cut to the room, and we see the walls of Jericho falling down, as in he like ceremoniously cuts the curtain between the two beds, implying they're gonna have sex. And then that's the end of the film. What a fantastic ending. Yeah, as I said, screwball comedies often are like sex comedies without the sex. That is probably about as close as we will get to something like that. But what an amazing final shot is just the walls of Jericho, the curtain between their two beds, just falling down between them.
Yeah.
Absolutely adore this film. I've said it already, puts a smile on my face every time. Frank Capra is the man when it comes to telling like good-natured stories of like working class, hardworking people and their hard work paying off in the end. He was a master of that, and this is no different. I gave it 4.5 stars. I love it. I think the second and third acts of this film are just perfect romantic comedy, just dynamite. Um, couldn't recommend this enough to you all. There's so many jokes in there that we haven't mentioned. There's that whole scene where they're singing the flying trapeze on the bus, which is just so wholesome.
Yeah.
Which ends with someone's mom like collapsing, and then Peter giving the kid willingly giving the kid of the woman money to kind of look after himself because they're poor, like poorer than Peter. That being said, he has no money after doing that. But
No, it's not. I think it doesn't she give.
he takes the money out to give it to him,
Yeah.
and then he doesn't know what to do because it's the only money he has
Yeah.
left. So she just takes it out of his hand and gives it to the kid.
Which is funny because obviously, like, she has never had to care about, giving someone else money. So it's a whole layer, extra. But you know, it's a funny scene and obviously a touching scene as well.
Yeah, no, I love this film, and I'd love to cover more Frank Capra on the podcast. There's a few that I haven't seen yet, a few big hitters I haven't seen. I haven't seen Meet John Doe, and I haven't seen
You've seen
Arsenic and Old Lace. Yeah, they're the two big ones I haven't seen, and then there's a couple of 30s big ones that I haven't seen, but I am chipping away through them. But no, like the ones from the 30s I have seen, this, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, You Can't Take It With You, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Bitter Tea of General Yen, Lost Horizon. All like his run in the 30s was a joke. I still have, as I said, that box set there. So like Platinum Blonde and Lady for a Day and Forbidden and stuff are all films I will definitely watch sooner rather than later. But yeah, Frank Capra, what a guy. What a fantastic director. And I love as well, it came up on my For You page the other day when Cary Grant gave Jimmy Stewart his Lifetime Acceptance Award or whatever it was at some award show. And the first person he thanked was Frank Capra, which I thought was very touching. Very Jimmy Stewart code as well, because he's just an all-round fantastic guy. But yeah, it's a testament to Frank Capra that he was the first person that Jimmy Stewart thanked. Obviously, It's a Wonderful Life as well was another fantastic film of his, but that's 40s, not 30s. But yeah, I am a massive Frank Capra fan, and this is one of my favorite Frank Capra films. Love it. Absolutely love it. What about you, Shane?
Yeah, really love this. Co-sign on everything you just said. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely will watch it again in the future though, because it's just one of those movies that is like very just heartwarming and very easy to watch. And I think you can kind of watch this in any mood. Like if you're looking for a bit of a pick me up, this is perfect. But if you're also just in a good mood and you want a fun comedy, a rom-com, you can watch this as well. Yeah, it's kind of an all-weather movie, and
Yeah.
I'd very much recommend it. If you're looking for this kind of screwball comedy / rom-com, very much recommend it.
Fantastic. Shane, will we, for all time's sake, get a few rounds of the L Guess That Movie?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We probably have time for 3 this time, have we?
Yeah, I don't know what the score is. Am I 2 up or 1 up?
I think you're 2 up.
Right, 2 up.
I will make the effort to get the score after this episode. I will go back through all the episodes and I will get the score so that as of our next episode, we will know exactly what the score is.
Yeah.
But if I am correct, I think you are 2 up.
I think you're
But
right, yeah.
we will correct that or agree with that in the next episode.
Good job. Will I go first?
So, do you have one there?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. I'll look away.
Okay.
So the game is simple, people. Shane is showing a movie to the screen.
Okay, there we go.
I have 7 questions to figure out what that movie is. I can only ask yes or no questions. My first question is, of course, have we covered this film on the podcast?
No.
Okay. Did this film come out in the 50s or later?
No.
Okay. Is this a film we have both seen?
Yes.
Interesting. Is this a film from 1944 or later?
No.
Okay, yeah, I was figuring that this is either an early 40s or prior film that we've both seen that hasn't been covered on the podcast. Alarm bells are instantly going off for me that this could be a film that we are covering this month. Does this film star Cary Grant?
No. No, doesn't.
No Cary Grant. Okay. Let me investigate further. So how many?
That's 5. You have 2 more.
That's 5 guesses. So I've one and a guess.
No, 2 and I guess. 7 questions.
2 and a guess. Sorry, 2 and a guess. 2 and a guess. We've both seen it, and it hasn't been covered on the podcast. Okay, is this an Alfred Hitchcock film?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. I didn't think you were gonna go that route, but you have. So that eliminates the early 40s, and that makes it have to be. You have seen Sabotage, haven't you? You have. We've both seen 39 Steps, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. Okay. Did this film come out in 1935 or later?
Yes. That's your last question.
Yeah. Right. So it is. Okay. After all this, I feel marginally confident. But let me just get the facts in front of me. How many films from 1935 onwards have we both seen from Hitchcock? Oh my god, it's a 50-50. That is horrible. Oh no. No, it's one of 3 films. It's either 39 Steps, Sabotage, or Young and Innocent. Oh no. Right. Shane has either gone totally obscure and gone with Sabotage. He's gone with a bit of a rom-com from Hitchcock in Young and Innocent. Or he's gone with maybe the best 30s Hitchcock film in the 39 Steps. I'm going to go with the 39 Steps.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It was Young and Innocent. You're so close.
Oh my god, no. Oh, pain. Utter pain.
Close but no cigar.
Right, Shane, if you want to look away, I have my first of 3. I reckon that is focused.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah.
Have we covered this in the podcast?
No.
Is it a film we've both seen?
It is not.
Is it a film that only you have seen?
It is not.
Right, so I've seen it. Only I've seen it. Is it a film from the 1930s or 40s?
It is not.
Right. Is it a film from the 1950s or 60s?
It is.
Right, so it's the 50s or 60s, and only I've seen
Two
it.
guesses left.
Yeah. Is this a romantic comedy? Or a comedy?
It is not.
No. Right. There's no way I get this. Is this a Hitchcock movie?
It is not.
Yeah.
Right, you have to guess now, God.
God.
This would be unbelievably clutch.
Is it Kiss Me Deadly?
It is The Bridge on the River Kwai. Unfortunately, it is a film that neither of us have seen.
Crap, I thought. For some reason, I just assumed I had seen it. Okay, my turn, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Look away, Harry. Okay, go ahead.
Is this a film we've covered on the podcast?
No.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Okay. Is this a film we've both seen?
No.
Okay. Is this a film from the 50s or later?
No.
Okay. Is this a film from the 1940s?
Yes.
Is this a film that you've seen?
No.
How many guesses do I have?
2 left.
Right. Well, I am going to look at films that I have seen from the 1940s before I make any rash decisions here with my next guess. Right, I have 2 guesses. So I think the only way to narrow it down, is this a film I have seen?
Yes.
Is this a film noir?
No.
Okay. So I got a guess?
Yep.
Interesting. Straight away. Oh, thank God. I was going to lock in a movie straight away because I assumed you hadn't seen it, but you actually have.
What was it?
I was just going to go straight out there and say Hamlet, but you've seen it. So I am glad that I didn't make a fool of myself there. Right, let's see. You have seen The Shop Around the Corner, surely.
Yep.
You have. I mean, it could be really cruel, and you may have gone with a Sherlock Holmes sequel. I mean, that would be horrible now. That would be shameful. Cat People is... Oh, you haven't seen Cat People either. Cat People, Grapes of Wrath. Do you know what? I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm just going to go with Grapes of Wrath.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It's Meet Me in St. Louis. Or St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old musical, that one.
Haven't seen it. Do want to check it out, though.
Right, Shane. I have one here.
Is this a film we've covered on the podcast?
Nope.
I had a feeling it wasn't. Is this a film that one of us has seen?
Is that only one of us, or at least one of us?
Yeah, I'll rephrase. Is this a film that at least one of us has seen?
Yes.
Really? Is this a film that I have seen?
Yes.
Shit, I should have asked if both of us had seen it. Crap. Wasting questions. Well, look, I know I've seen it anyway. So.
Have I seen it, though?
Is this a movie from the 30s or 40s?
It is. That was pretty clutch.
Is this a drama film? Like, so when I say drama, I mean, like, it could be a thriller as well, but it's not a comedy, like.
No, I wouldn't say that it's like primarily a drama.
No. Okay, right. Have you seen this movie as well?
Yes.
Right, so we've both seen it. It's from the 30s or 40s.
You've one left. You've one guess left.
I'll just say, is this from the 30s?
It's not.
Right, so it's from the 40s.
So you're going to have to pick a 40s film that we've both seen.
You said it's not a drama, no? It's not primarily a drama.
No, I wouldn't call this, like, if I was to give it a genre, drama wouldn't be the first one that comes to mind now.
Yeah. Could be Dumbo. The Philadelphia Story, I believe you've seen that, yeah. We are covering that soon, so it could be that. Shop Around the Corner. You know, you did mention that, so it's making me think maybe you just went with the Pinocchio. You know what, I'm gonna lock in the Shop Around the Corner. Final answer.
You did mention it, Shane, I'm afraid.
Ah, did I?
It's Pinocchio.
Ah. Damn it.
I was initially going to go with 101 Dalmatians, but you haven't logged that on Letterboxd, so I wasn't sure. Have you seen that?
God. The original animated one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it, so I'm gonna have to,
Yeah, okay. Because I was confused that you hadn't logged it, and then I was like, I assume he has seen it and just hasn't logged it, so I couldn't go with it. It felt wrong.
I don't remember. Well, I remember very little of it, but I do remember seeing it as a kid. So I definitely I have seen it. Right, one more round each, is it?
Yes.
Okay. I have one here.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Is this a film we've covered on the podcast?
No.
Is this film from the 50s or 60s?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a 60s film?
Yes.
Is it a film that both of us have seen?
No.
Okay. Is it a film from 66 onwards?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Good question.
Is this a foreign language film?
Yes.
Okay. We're kind of cooking, but we're not, because I've seen a lot of foreign language films from the early 60s. I'm just going to assume... Yeah, I'm just going to assume that I've seen it. I'm just going to be bold and assume that. So I'm going to ask, is it French?
No.
Okay. So, Viridiana springs to mind instantly. You've also got Ivan's Childhood. And you've got Blood and Black Lace. They are just 3 examples. You've only Baba as well. They are 4 examples of non-French foreign language films I've seen from the 60s. Have I one guess, or do I have to guess?
No, you have to guess, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just going to take a risk and assume that it's a film that I've seen. And I'm going to go Viridiana. I'm going to lock in Louis Buñuel, Viridiana.
I will say you did mention it in those 4 or 5 films that you listed there.
Oh, God.
It's not Viridiana.
Ah.
It is Only Baba.
Oh, no. Great film, though. Great film.
Right, one more from you.
Yeah. I'll get one up now. And I'm showing it to the camera. Right. Go for it.
I'm not going to ask, have we covered it, because I have a feeling we haven't. So I'm not going to waste the question. So instead, my first question will be, is this a movie from the 50s or 60s?
It is.
Right. Is this a movie that only I have seen?
It is not.
Is this a movie we've both seen?
It is not.
So either
Still
only...
2 options there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, exactly. So either neither of us have seen it or only you have seen it. Is this a movie
Correct.
you have seen?
It is.
Right, so it's you've seen it and it's from the 50s or 60s. Is this a movie from the 60s?
It is.
Right. You only have seen it from the 60s. Is this a foreign language movie?
It is not.
Right, that rules out a fair chunk.
You have one guess left. Or won't question it, I should say.
Not foreign language. Is this a horror movie?
It is not. You must guess.
We mentioned Easy Rider, Bully. No, still, it's going to be loads, to be honest. Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, I don't know. There's no chance of getting this. Cool Hand Luke.
Have you still not seen Cool Hand Luke?
I have it literally. I downloaded it. I saved it onto my DVR.
That is insane. I feel like every time we play this game, I figure out again
As of
you
yesterday.
haven't seen Cool Hand Luke. It's so good. So there you go. There's a free one. It's not that because I didn't even realize that you hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah, as of yesterday, I have it downloaded, so I definitely will watch it very, very soon. You were always talking about Peeping Tom. That's a good movie, apparently, and you've given it 5 stars.
It's a fantastic film. Unbelievable film.
Santo. You've been talking about doing a Santo movie as well, so it could be that. Or is that?
I do love Santo. Well,
actually, is Santo?
It's a generous term.
I don't know if Santo was an English language movie, though, is it? Anyway. I'm gonna lock in Easy Rider.
And Shane, I think for the first time in podcast history, none of us have gotten a single one correct. If I told you that this starred Eli Wallach, Lee Van Cleef, and Clint Eastwood as the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, fair enough.
Cannot believe you haven't seen that either. I had to scroll through. I scrolled through people who've seen it twice just to be sure.
Yeah, no.
And then had to check your watch list just to be triple sure.
To be honest,
such an unbelievable film.
That Leone trilogy is like one of my biggest blind spots. I really need to check that off this year. I really do.
Yeah, do you know what? As a treat for the YouTube viewers, you can see there is my Dollars trilogy box set. That lovely little sunset there. That is my Dollars trilogy box set. And I myself have only seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I still need to see the other two. But I do own the trilogy, which is class. But yeah. Whatever the score is, it hasn't changed.
No.
Yeah, next week we are continuing our charge through Screwball specials with Bringing Up Baby, a return to the podcast for Katharine Hepburn, who we covered not that long ago, and a return to one Cary Grant, who it feels like we haven't covered in God knows how long. So great to see him coming back. Yeah, it's also got a leopard in it. So what more do you need from us? Like, it's Bringing Up Baby. It's a fantastic film. We're covering it next week on the podcast. In the meantime, though, this has been the episode of the Golden Hour Film Podcast where we covered Frank Capra's 1934 smash hit success, It Happened One Night. Thank you all so very much. I just clocked that I don't know if either of us said that Claudette Colbert was very good in the film, but she was.
Yeah, she's very, very good. She is.
I just clocked it. We may not have mentioned that. She's very good in that film. It's not the Clarke Gable show. They're both very good. But yeah, that was the Golden Hour Film Podcast episode number 98. Crazy. We'll see you all next week for episode number 99. I have been Harry Bailey.
I have been Shane White.
And we will see you all then. Thank you and goodbye.